Last week you saw us put in our FLEXSTONE shower base.
Google answer.
This is how I shower. And this week we're ready to put the walls in. Now we've had this idea of having marble shower walls for a long time, and it wasn't until really recently that I came across another bus conversion that had these marble looking walls. One determined fella. I told Don, showed him the picture, and he just got to Googling until he found FLEXSTONE.
What's your favorite job in the shower building department?
Our favorite part is the cement board where it is nothing. We've got all our corners taped up. We're ready to put our panel in. We're Mela and Don.
We uprooted our lives and left Los Angeles
With the dream of converting an MCI D3 40-foot bus into a tiny home on wheels. We're sharing our progress.
one bite at a time.
What?
How to eat an elephant one bite at a time.
Last week you saw us put in our FLEXSTONE shower base.
Slowly bring it down.
And this week we're ready to put the walls in.
Okay, with the cement board up everywhere, it's tricky. Now I just got to go ahead and finish building out the wooden part for the shower, and I'm going to build a little shelf. Mel wants to be able to hang a little plant that comes over into the shower. That'll be really nice.
I am just layering on the sealant on these cabinets. I think making these cabinets has really helped Don confirm that not making our own kitchen cabinets is the best choice for us. It's definitely, all the reasons we've talked about. We don't have the skill level, it takes us way longer, the cost of wood right now, because it's a pretty big kitchen that we've got in our big coach bus. But before I go back in to edit, I thought let's go check out what the boys are doing in the bus. You making things happen?
We're trying to do it all in reverse order or inside out order. It's a little confusing. So we've got planned out where all of our plumbing is going to come through into the shower now. We know where our mixer valve is and where the controls will be. And then we know where the shower mounts into the wall. So we had to build a way to make backing boards because those brass fittings and valves have to attach to something. They usually attach to a backing board you put between 2x4s. We didn't have 2x4s, we didn't have a wall, so we're kind of designing it inside out. But I think it's working now. We've got some studs that we put in place. It'll act as structural integrity for the half wall, and it'll also act as a place for us to screw our backer board in, so the valves will meet up nicely in the front of the shower.
Now he just had to put up the seam tape and mortar the cracks.
Alright, got the tape up. It went pretty smooth. I just want to go ahead and tape all the wall areas around there. Okay, I think we've got all the thin set mortar in place. It's a super quick set mortar, so hopefully it won't take too long to dry.
Once the mortar was dry, Don put up HydroFlex. It's a waterproof membrane, and you might be more familiar with the name Red God. It's a different brand, but it's basically the same thing, and it's purple.
Got all the seams painted. I'm gonna let that set for a minute, but Mela just got back with a very exciting package. What do we got?
For bringing a little piece of our home into yours. You are very much appreciated. That's cute. Oh, you cracked your camera lens.
It's just the cover.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a few things in the bus that we have been searching for like forever. Like, you know when you get something in mind and you want it, but it's hard to find? This has just been one of those things, is that we wanted a round mirror for our bathroom, but being such a small space, it's really hard to find a round mirror that will fit, that we can secure well, that it won't break. Plus, we wanted to turn it into a little medicine cabinet, so this is what we found. So we asked her to not put the whole thing together because we're going to modify it to make it into a little medicine cabinet. So here's our little mirror. It's perfect, it's enough to see your face. And looks like the sunshine. And that will be glued in there. Isn't that cool? And it's got the multiple colors of brown because we've got our dark espresso trim and then we got our lighter wood tone, so we like the incorporation of all the colors. But we're gonna add our own little box behind it, so we wanted the mirror separate so that we can screw a little box in there to be our medicine cabinet before we put our mirror on. I love it. Let's put it in the space. Just fits. Just barely. Oh, it's gonna look so good. It's very cute.
Yeah, I like it. It's really cute. It's gonna be add a lot of character. Glad Mela's happy, and I'm glad it's gonna fit in our space. About halfway done with the large sections of the wall. Already what I'm learning is the roller, it goes on very thin, a little more even. However, getting the stuff on the roller, getting the HydroFlex on the roller can be a real issue. You basically just have to dip it in, and then once you get it up and rolling, you're smashing it and pushing it around. Definitely gonna take few coats to get this nice and sealed up and watertight. 730. Put another layer of that waterproof membrane on. Trying to get out early because it's getting so hot right now. It's August. It's the hottest time of the year in this part of the country. It was 90 something a couple days ago, and there's a heat index which takes into account the humidity, which said it was 120 feels like temperature. So let's call that 130 inside the bus. I don't know. Right now it's really cool, which is why I wanted to get out here. I just noticed that my green really is going to complement this beautiful purple shower we have.
We are up fairly early today to try and beat the humidity to at least get our FLEXSTONE walls cut out before it gets too hot. It looks really easy to cut the panels and to install them. The trickiest part for us is the usual story that we don't have straight lines, we have curved walls, nothing is like just a straight line down. So we're using the template that we made out of Luan to cut our walls to help get this curve up here and cut this big piece first, get the curve and the curved wall down the sideline because we have that template.
Close. I think what we need to do is go ahead and take this plastic out so that we can actually put it up against the...
In the actual spot?
Yeah.
Well, weren't you wanting to use this though as a template to cut out the other wall? Shouldn't you cut out the other wall before you start messing with this template too much?
I'm not going to cut any more of this template.
Oh.
I'm getting this template to work for that wall. And once it works for that wall, it'll work as the starting point for this piece back here. Because this piece back here is different than the wall piece.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you didn't lose your template. We've decided that this back wall that we're cutting out first is the biggest wall and it's also the most complicated wall. So we're gonna just use this Luan template that we have from the wall. And we're first gonna cut it out, what we think it needs to be in this big piece of cardboard. And then go dry fit it, put it in place, make sure it actually works before we cut our FLEXSTONE walls, just to make sure that we are getting it all right. What do you think? Do you think we did it? Think it's right?
I have no idea. Let's find out.
Oh, it's gonna be complicated to get it in there, huh? So it looks like we can shave off a tiny bit of that upper corner, right?
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty damn close. Need to make just a few more little corrections, some little cuts, and then I think we'll be ready to cut out the FLEXSTONE.
For most installs with a FLEXSTONE tub or shower kit, it looks like it would be super easy to do. If you've got your backing boards and your tub or base already set in, you can just literally get it cut to size and glue it right in there. If you got rectangle walls like a regular person, it'll be very easy. One thing that I thought was really great is that FLEXSTONE has a virtual walkthrough installation guide in an app called Built, B-I-L-T, and with that we're able to look through the installation, go step by step with the guide on my phone as we do it.
To complete this procedure, you will need a tape measure, caulking gun, 100% silicone caulk, construction adhesive, a utility knife, a taping blade or putty knife, a level, a marker.
So FLEXSTONE uses this unique composite material, and then they take the images from real stone. For us, it's great because it's super lightweight and it's flexible. In a regular house, it's a super easy install. The only reason it's slightly complicated for us is that we have a slightly complicated shower because it's not a real house and we have to make it work in the small space that we have. One determined fella. Look at that. So sweat. I took about 5 cuts, like 5 fixes, to get it to fit real good, but I'd rather do it that way than cut it too small and have a gap. So yeah, I love it. It's so cool. Love it. Then Don and his dad continued with the other shower walls. Pretty much the same method, they just switched to using paper because they found it was easier to just kind of fold into all the curves and angles we have here.
The problem with using paper templates is we're so sweaty because it's really humid, so every time you touch it, it leaves a big wet mark on the template. It was a brutal, humid, hot day. Heat index 110. But we made some big progress with the shower today. Got all but one of the interior pieces.
I mean, just with it kind of placed in place, it's looking awesome, and I'm super excited to glue it in place.
Now, as we've mentioned a couple times, the FLEXSTONE system is very easy if you just have a regular shower or bathtub. Because we've got all this custom stuff going on, we've had to make a lot more cuts than you would normally. All right, we've got all our little pieces and parts done. Unfortunately, we're out of time for the day. I got computer work to do. Mella's got to run some errands. So we're gonna start early in the morning and install a FLEXSTONE shower. I can't wait, this is gonna look awesome. We're ready to do the inside corner reinforcement installation, and I'm pulling up the Built app, which has instructions for FLEXSTONE, so I can just make sure I do everything correctly as we install.
Note, the inside corner reinforcements can be found in the packaging between the left and right front miter trim pieces.
got all of our corners taped up, we are ready to put our first panel in. So it's got this plastic protective layer on top, so you just gotta peel it back from all the sides to get started, but leave it on the main body area. And then we're gonna put generous beads of the adhesive onto our wall about 3 inches apart. Now, the app that we're checking for directions tells you to put it on the back of your board, but on the FLEXSTONE videos, they put it on straight onto the walls, and that seems to make a lot more sense to us to just go on the walls. Shower. You farting up there? So the adhesive goes on the wall, and then in the corners you use the silicone, and then you just use a wet finger to wipe away the excess.
What's your favorite job in the shower building department?
Well, you've done most of it. My favorite part is the cement board where it is nothing. What I like about this is that there's no grout required. This is super easy to just kind of glue in, but also that's going to make cleaning the shower really easy. It's going to be mold and mildew resistant. You don't have to worry about like dirt getting in the grout.
We've got rollers because we've been doing so many other things where we need to have rollers, so we'll go ahead and using it. We're rolling on the plastic protective area, not directly on there, just so we don't mess it up before we get everything installed.
Okay, so now we're getting to the sort of unconventional parts of our shower. And I'm gonna say that I don't recommend you build your shower the way we do. Just like everything else in the bus, there are no right angles in this shower, so it does make it a little more complicated than having 3 straight walls in your shower. Now we've got this complicated weird shelving area that you're probably still a little bit confused about why we've done this. When you see us put our shower head in, you'll be like, oh, I see why they've done this now, and it will make complete sense why we've made it so complicated. It just has to be that way, and I think at the end of the day it's gonna look nice, but it's a little unconventional what we're doing. It's a job for little hands. You get your hands in here, Don? So there's trim that we will be using down the sides where we have nice straight lines in our showers, but obviously the ceiling is curved, so the trim is not going to fit on the curve, so we're just sealing it up with a lot of silicone.
Should autofocus.
Okay.
If it doesn't, just give it a second.
All right.
It'll catch up.
Okay.
That little light button, sometimes you gotta push it for it to adjust.
Which one's that? The top one?
Tap that little,
Okay.
that little light there.
Hit that out of focus button. Sorry, I pushed it back again.
Alright, so this one, can you see me? Okay. So this piece we've done 3 times now. Probably showed that my dad and I did it first with a paper template, and it was close, but it's just a very tricky piece because there's really no right angles on this because it is completely custom. So what we did then is we went ahead and took cardboard and made a cardboard template much closer, but
Back up a little bit so I can get a... There you go. Okay, very good. That's fine.
much closer, but there was still a little gap in one of the corners, so the purple of the waterproof membrane was showing. So then I went ahead and used that as a starting point, and we created one more, which is a real tight fit, so I'm very excited to see how it fits now. This side looks like it's going to fit really well.
So once we got all the wall panels up, we could just put the trim on. The trim's super easy, cut it to size, put adhesive on the back, and then press it into place, and it finishes off the edges really nicely. And then we have to get creative on the other side. We made a creative shower. We're creative people, so we're getting creative with the trim. And this is the end result.
We're gonna beat this maze, let's go deeper. I wanna reach it all, taking a leap or fall, I'll get to you.
If you missed our shower base install, that was last week's video. We'll link that up above and also down below in the description if you want to see how that all went down, because that's also from FLEXSTONE. A lot of people commented that they wanted to know what it costs.
We saw at our local Menards that you could get a 3-wall shower kit from FLEXSTONE for around 880 bucks and a 3-wall tub kit for about 550 bucks.
You can get it at Menards, online and in store, and then it's also available at Wayfair, Lowe's, and Home Depot online only. The shower base is going to range in price depending on how big or small it is, so it's best that you just go check out their website and then go to the different retailers and find the size you need to figure out what it'll cost you.
Now on the FLEXSTONE website, they also will show you all the different kinds of shower walls they make, replicating all this different beautiful stonework. The one that we got and that we really love is the Calcutta White, but there's so many other versions, you should check it out. So we want to say a big thanks to FLEXSTONE for partnering with us to help us put together our dream shower.
So what's next on the agenda, Don?
Well, next week we got any one of 5 things we could be working on, and we don't know what it's gonna be.
Surprise video coming at you next week.
We'll see you next week.